We're diving into a story that shocked the nation. Dark motives, hidden digital lives, and a relentless hunt for justice. This is the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the stunning secret the FBI uncovered. The moment this news broke, the world froze. A public figure taken down. And instantly the question, who did it? Why? This wasn't just news. For many, it felt personal. We peel back the layers and show how the investigation pieced together a disturbing puzzle.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating. We can confirm that his roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, and that he is cooperating with authorities.
September 10th, about 12:23, Charlie Kirk was shot. 16 minutes later, FBI agent swarmed the scene. Not a normal case. FBI Director Kash Patel takes it personal. Planes of agents, evidence stacks, special operators, you name it. Utah turned into an active hub overnight. They trace every step, every angle, and they find whispers of a story. A screwdriver left on a rooftop, a firearm wrapped in a towel, tossed into the woods, not random junk, viral pieces of a puzzle. And Patel knew every second mattered.
Director Kash Patel joins us now. I can't imagine, Mr. Director, how busy you've been, especially Charlie Kirk isn't just a impactful person, he's your friend. So I understand that. But having said that, people are looking to you to find out is how big this investigation is going to be. Can you tell us the latest?
Absolutely. It's so good to be with you. And you're right. My personal feelings and relationship with Charlie, I have a job to do for the American people, and I'm committed to do it for President Trump. We flexed all resources the FBI had and surged multiple air assets as soon as this shooting occurred. We were cycling in agents, evidence response technicians, hostage rescue technicians, and special operators in and out of Utah, cycling evidence back and forth on these FBI planes as soon as we could so that there was no delay. And what we did once I got there, along with the deputy on the ground around 5 p.m. local on September 11th, was walk the entire crime scene, including the foots the suspect himself took. And what we learned was there was evidence, DNA evidence that could be collected and had been collected, including a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop. Also, we went over to the scene in the wooded area where the firearm was discarded. And the firearm had a towel wrapped around it. It's important. I'll get back to that later. I even walked into the wooded area in the ravine, so I knew from my investigative experience what I could bring to the table and what decisions I needed to make. And having the support of President Trump and the full support of the White House was what we needed for these resources to happen. And I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
Next day, September 11th, 10 a.m., the FBI drops the suspect image. But at 8 p.m., Patel doubles down. Enhanced video footage, sharper, cleaner, riskier. He gambled, and it worked. 2 hours later, 10 p.m., the arrest happens. Why so fast? Because a father recognized his own son. The heartbreak of turning in your own child became the break investigators needed. A gut punch of tragedy, but also the turning point.
I want to get to the 20 members in that group chat. Have they been brought in from questioning? And the group chat that from our reporting that we're hearing is from after the assassination. Do you have the messages from before the assassination?
Well, let me take a step back and tell you what we were doing while we were there and how we were led to the suspect so that this all fits into the puzzle. as soon as we learned of the shooting, we were able to, I think Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23 local time on September 10th. By 12:39 p.m. local time, FBI assets were on scene securing the scene. We then launched at 10 a.m. the next day the first images of the suspect. Myself and the deputy arrived at 5 p.m. local time on September 11th. And then what we did was decided to have a press conference at 8 p.m. local, where we issued for the first time FBI obtained video footage that we seized from the security camera surveillance system and new images, enhanced images. I decided to release immediately to the public because we were working with the public and the media to find this killer. Shortly after that 8 p.m. release, at 10 p.m. local time, the suspect was in custody. Why? Because the father informed us, pursuant to an interview of him, that he looked at the video that we released that evening and the enhanced photos and identified the suspect. That's how fast the FBI was working to put out information in real time.
With the suspect in custody, new details surface. He refused to cooperate, but his roommate, transitioning from a male to female, does cooperate. On an unexpected twist, the FBI dives deeper. Private texts, phone pings, and a Discord chat room with more than 20 people. Not just a lone wolf, a digital web of connections and signals. Then the motive becomes clearer. His family admits he hated what Charlie stood for. Left-wing ideology fuels his rage. And one text said it all. I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to do it.
Going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals, but this is a great point. I want to lay out how this works. People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. We, the FBI, are the investigatory body supporting multiple prosecutions and ongoing investigations, and that's another point. Our investigation at the FBI is ongoing. And there are scores of people in this Discord chat room. But we have to effectuate legal process. We have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained. We, the FBI, are running the investigation pointedly on the Discord chat group. There are scores of individuals that are going to be spoken to. There are also lots of family members and friends that have already been spoken to. And one more point on forensics. We were able to obtain in record time the text message chain between the suspect and his live-in partner, as well as other critical cellular information from our CAS team that analyzes cell phone data towers in the area to pinpoint the locations of the suspect and other individuals he was speaking with. This is critical information that the FBI processed and got to prosecutors so they can lawfully use it in a court of law. And our investigation, our interviews continue, but we've learned some shocking things when we spoke to his family and friends as well.
You want to share them? Those shocking things?
Sure. And my job as FBI director is not to speak to motive, is to speak to the facts. And that's what I'm going to do. His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and even more so in these last couple of years. And he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for. Those are factually accurate investigatory findings by the FBI that we've handed over to the local authorities and the federal authorities to make their prosecutorial decisions. But I believe in this instance of such public importance, the public has a right to know. And I've told you I'm committed to transparency, and that's what I'm doing here today.
Investigators uncovered a note written before the shooting, spelled out his plan. That note was destroyed, but through interviews and forensics, the FBI confirmed it. Premeditation, cold calculation, and still, one haunting question. Why didn't the person text warn anyone? That silence changed everything.
Did he write a written note before the assassination attempt? That's what the governor said yesterday. And what did that say, if you could share
what I'm
that
able
with
to
us?
say, I'm sorry. So what I'm able to say is I addressed it partially earlier, is that the written note, we believe, what did exist, and we have evidence to show what was in that note, which is, and I'm going to summarize, basically saying, the suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
Through it all, Patel faced some criticism for pushing through too fast, for even misidentifying a suspect earlier on. But he owns it. He says speed and transparency were necessary because silence breeds conspiracy. And he vows politics won't get in the way of the facts.
So in the 24 hours after, when we were still looking for the guy, I know you posted that we got him. That ended up not being true. You took some incoming because of that. What led to you posting that? Why did you feel so certain about it? And what do you have to say about the criticism?
No, I appreciate this opportunity. Look, as I stated, I was being transparent with working with the public on our findings as I had them. I stated in that message that we had a subject and that we were going to interview him, and we did, and he was released. The job of the FBI is not just to manhunt the actual suspect who did the killing or suspects, but it's also to eliminate targets and eliminate subjects who are not involved in the process, and that's what we were doing. Could I have worded it a little better in the heat of the moment? Sure. But do I regret putting it out? Absolutely not. I was telling the world what the FBI was doing as we were doing, and I'm continuing to do that, and I challenge anyone out there to find a director that has been more transparent and more willing to work the media on high-profile cases, or any case the FBI is handling, than we have been under my leadership.
Do you think that guy was part of the plot to distract you while this guy got away? Do you think there's any connection between two of those people that stood up and acted crazy at that moment?
Well, as it's now been publicly reported, some of these people were taking claims for this horrific act of violence, and they had nothing to do with it.
This case is still unfolding, and it's a reminder of how dangerous ideology can become. Every new clue in a piece of closure, and every answer brings us closer to the truth. If this breakdown gives you insight, hit like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for updates. And let me know in the comments what details hit you the hardest. Remember, until next time, please stay informed and engaged. Have a good one.